Well, let me start over. This will work better. No, not that one. This one.
And now, here's a guy that proves there is no vaccine against stupidity. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Yep, yeah, it's all about routine. It's all about routine. You suddenly change up the routine, it messes with everybody. You don't want to do that. As I shed this jacket, it's time to start the Eric Zane Show podcast. The question that you have right now is, Zane, where are the dogs? They're sleeping. Well, they're not really sleeping. They're probably waiting at the door of the room that they sleep in. Like, hey, we're supposed to be on the show, stupid. What's up? But today is a day when, Diana is sleeping in. Madison is sleeping in. Madison has a friend over, actually. And it's like, typically, if they're getting ready for work and they're not, or school, and they're not because they're on like midwinter break, everybody's up and around. Then I got to feed the dogs. I got to let the dogs out. I got to pack lunches. Then I bring them up here. But a day like today, I just get up, get my coffee, get my ass in here. And that might be why I did this same exact thing on Friday. No dogs. And it was like, what happened? And like my attendance for the video podcast is way, way down for those days. And is that it? Is that all it takes? Is to see that the dogs are not here and you don't even bother to view the content? Well, that makes me feel like shit. I have no idea. Maybe that's it. But the dogs will be back. It all depends. I'll probably have them in for the Patreon. But at that point, everybody will be up and awake and ready to go. All right. This show, several ways you can get it, as you know, Facebook. The almighty Facebook, Irvines.com / or I should say Grand Rapids Auto Repair Facebook page. Brings it to you for Facebook Live. Twitter, the Blue Frost IT Twitter handle, at Eric Zane Show. And on YouTube as well, just search Eric Zane Show. Instagram is brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. And, of course, the always downloadable audio podcast found at ericzaneshow.com or wherever you get podcasts. If you could, throw me 5 stars on that deal. I'd love that. You would make my day. Okay. 1,000,001 things to talk about. As we are now past Valentine's Day, I got a chance to go see my dad, my mom. So it was Dad and Joanne, Mom and Wally. And this was spectacular. I tell you what, 2 completely different ways of living for these 4. They're all about the same age. And it's hard to believe that in a blink of an eye, we'll all be their age in our 80s. Doing pretty good, though. Let me just start with my dad. I got a glimpse for the first time. I know it sounds strange. It's been a couple of months. I got a glimpse of his finger. And so his ring finger now is shorter than his pinky, just a little bit. Otherwise, it looks fine. And but he did kind of mangle those fingers, and there is some nerve damage. But he seems to be doing pretty good. He was sharp. I was, when you have parents who are dealing with dementia, you're kind of always on guard, like for a moment that they're going to say something that's a little bit like, oh, no, boy, the wires crossed on that one. But no, they all did great. Everybody looked good, felt good. And, so that was happening. And so that was great. Spent time, and I actually first went to see my mother and my stepfather, Wally, and they were doing excellent too. They live in a place where it is it's not a nursing home. It's apartment living with assistance. So if you need assistance, you get assistance. There's always someone nearby, and these places are great. And My mother is a social butterfly. So is Wally. So they make friends everywhere they go. So they have plugged into that whole dynamic of meeting new people, and they've got this army of friends. So I couldn't be happier with that. Now, my dad and Joanne are the opposite. They do not want that type of living. They want to be alone in their place with their own privacy. They don't like going out of their way to make a bunch of new friends. If it happens, it happens. But they're not as socially they're not social butterflies like my mom and Wally are. Hang on, I got to drink this coffee. You drink yours. That's the drawback of having coffee in here. I usually don't like to do this, but I said, oh hell, let's let my hair down a little bit. What hair that I have? So that was awesome, getting to see that group. I had Jacqueline and Justin with me. Now here's how it goes, because Diana had to work, Madison had to work, Jim had to work, so it was just the three of us. We get there, and I had informed my mom and Wally, we saw them first, that it was just going to be me, Jackie, and Justin. They, upon hearing this, came up with the idea that there's a reason why just those two were coming, and they convinced themselves that Justin and Jackie were going to announce to the grandparents that they were getting married. Or engaged. So we're sitting there, and Wally busts out the video camera. Not that unusual. He records everything. And then they kind of like, so do you want to tell us something? And we all kind of look around the room. We're like, no. Hi. How are you? No, what are you getting at? Oh, and then Wally puts down the video camera. He realizes it's not happening. They go, we thought that you were going to announce that you had gotten engaged. No, and not quite. Nothing would make anyone happier. There's no doubt. But they're like, no, we didn't get engaged. Spent time there, headed over to Dad's. Actually, I drove by my where I grew up. Went out of my way to drive by where I grew up. Do you ever do that? I love driving by where I grew up. I want that home. I want to buy that home. The one in Warren. It's remarkable to drive through the old neighborhood. When I see, hell, there's a tree that is in front of our old house that I remember when my brother planted it. I mean, it was like this big. It was like a small seedling. I remember the day he did it because he had it in a coffee can, and he put it, and it was in the soil, and he just put the coffee can like on top of the grass. Like that's where it's going to go when it grows. And he just let it grow there until it was like ready. And so it got plenty of sun, and then he transplanted it, put it into the ground. That thing is huge. This is like, 40 years ago, maybe more. Jeez, hang on. Finish this coffee. All right. That was fun. Everything's so tiny, though. Then I drove over to my junior high school or middle school and my elementary school are on the same piece of property. And so I pull up. This is Saturday. Sunday. There's no one there, obviously. I get out of the car, and I'm peering in the windows of my elementary school. Jackie and Justin are in the car. I go, yeah, just hang here. I'll be back. And I'm just looking inside, absorbing it all. That, this is so long ago that I was walking those halls, and I can remember. I know this sounds a little bit strange, but I don't know. Does it? Hang on. Booger. And then I look, I turn around to walk away, and I look, and there's cameras everywhere, and I realize I'm on camera, and there's someone saying, all right, we got a potential shooter. Here's a potential shooter. He's scouting out the floor plan. He's going to shoot the joint up. No doubt my plates were scanned, And there's going to be a bang on the door as I'm suspect number one going forward. Okay, that ended. Nice to have you all here. I appreciate you joining me. Let's go around here on Facebook. See, we got all the usual suspects are here. A great number of people populating Facebook. Megan, you're okay. Now Megan from Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. She is here, and I see her dad Eric is here, and they inform me. Eric, we are working on a super clean Honda Civic Hybrid right now. And that's true. Let's start with that. So, Megan has been after me to get my car serviced, and I've needed it forever. And she, I'd volunteered her. We did a charity event over at Irvine's. It was that car show. I'm sure we're going to do it again this year for Hope Packages. And she gave me a gift of like a big credit, a good amount of money on credit for car repairs. Now, I would have taken it there anyway, but whether it was credit or not, I was going to get my car serviced. And she said, hey, well, this is how we do it. I live right by you. Let me just drop off my car, and I'll pick up your car and take it to work. That makes it easy. That way, there's no excuse for you not to get your car serviced. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Now, it is no big deal. It just needs like an oil change. And occasionally when you get to a certain amount of miles, it says service due. They want you to have your car looked at. So I agree. And then it dawns on me that though I agree, I don't want anyone in that car. It was an absolute abortion when it came to cleanliness. It smelled like food and body and grease and dog and just so freaking bad. Like there was a sheen. I don't know if you know this about me, but whenever I talk, spit flies out of my mouth. Some of you may have seen some of the videos where like the sun is just right and you can see like a shower of spit come flying out of my mouth. And I'm constantly on the phone in the car. So there's little spit droplets all over the dash. I mean, you know how there's the screen where the navigation is? It's like it's like there's a fog of dried spit on this car. It's been forever since I really scoured the inside. So I go, well, I am not going to let her near this car unless it's clean. So yesterday, I started to go to work on this thing. It took me 3 hours to clean this car, and I did everything. Vacuumed. I put disinfectant, Lysol or Pine Sol disinfectant into a bucket of hot water, and I completely scrubbed the inside and then dried it all off and shined it all up. Used the carpet cleaner to clean the seats and the floor of the vehicle. All the door jambs were wiped out with the disinfectant. This car smells like the inside of an operating room. It's so clean. Oh, my gosh. And I even shot a video on Facebook, which I'll link up in the comments of this podcast, which I'll do that again today because I'm back to doing that since limo work is done. And when I dumped the water out, it was black. I mean, it wasn't like a little brown. It was black. Oh, so disgusting. Absolutely awful. But I'm like, if you're going to pick up this car, I don't want you in it unless it's completely clean. So I cleaned the hell out of this car. Will it stay that way? Of course not. Megan picks up the car and takes it. Thank you. Thank you very much. More on them in a little bit. This weekend, though, thank God for Zaniac Mike Pellerito, friend of the show, friend of ours. He's very, very concerned about me. And this is what I mean. I talked about how in my basement there is a room where we keep like all the kids' toys from years gone by, and just not long ago, a couple months ago, Diana was in there. She goes, "There's black mold on the ceiling," and sure enough, there is. And if you were to go into that room, and this actually happened, and because I investigated it, and so those spores, which are cancer-causing, I could feel it in my throat. I mean, it was bad. You do not want to be in the presence of black mold. Yet here I am poking away at it. Story goes, I took a broomstick and I touched it, and it went right through the drywall, and water started pouring out. I'm like, oh, shit. Now, it was water that had accumulated. It wasn't like flying out of a pipe or anything. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I was confused. So I put a bucket under there, and I didn't worry about it for extended time. Then I talked about it on the show. Pellerito gets the idea that it's a pipe like right off of my sink, and every time I turn on the water, water's pouring out of it everywhere. And I go, and so I'm like, no, I don't think it's like that. I think there's something else going on there. I'm not sure what. It might have been a leak, and then it just corrected itself through magic. I have no idea, but I don't think it's what you think it is. But he was still like, you got to check that. You got to check that. You don't want that happening. It's going to destroy your house. So he reaches out to me on Friday at, oh, God, it was probably like 9:30. Was it Friday or Saturday? It might have been Saturday. And he's it was Saturday. So I hadn't thought about it. And, he's kind of like, hey, want me to come help you? And I go, I should do this myself. I want to take a look at it. I've been meaning to do it. So I've got this mask, that I can put on, appropriate mask, and so that I don't breathe any of the cancer. And I got a headlamp on, and I go in there, and I start pulling the drywall out. And it's ruined, so it doesn't matter. So I'm like just getting it all out, throwing it into a bucket, and then go pitch it. And I take a look, and there's a pipe. And it's probably like inch and a half in diameter. And it's completely not connected to it's completely separated, this pipe. It's like whoever built this house built it shitty. You ever do that? You move into a house and then you start to find all the little surprises and tricks that the previous homeowner did poorly that you now have to clean, fix the damage because of whoever built this or did this one particular portion, their ineptness. Some dumb son of a bitch. And this pipe, it goes to my furnace. From what I'm understanding is moisture is pulled out, or when it has someplace to go, it kind of builds and then it vents out of the house. But over time, if the pipe's not connected like this, it just drips onto the drywall, and that's what has happened. So over time, maybe it was connected at one point because there was some glue on it, some of that purple glue, the PVC pipe glue, And at one point, this thing was connected, but it's not now. There's like space in between it. It's completely not connected. So I'm like, how the hell did this happen? So some guy did a shitty job on the damn thing, and now my drywall is destroyed, and I've got to replace this pipe. So Pellerito's like, I know what he's thinking. He's like, well, I can come over and do it. I'm like, ah. And every time he says this, I'm always like, well, I want to try. I want to try to do it. So I'm going to try to replace this pipe. Now, we need to look no further than, a month ago when I was working on my sump pump on that catch valve or whatever the hell it was, and the hilariousness of when the backup pump turned on and the jet of water like a fire hose went right in my face as I was trying to repair that thing. Oh, God, oh, my God, what the hell is going on? If you didn't hear that, it's on a previous podcast. There's no doubt something horrible is going to happen. So, Pellerito's kind of like, you want me to come check it out? And I'm like, no. Let me do it. This is show prep. This is important that I at least attempt to do this so that I can share the nightmare with the world when I ruin it. So, all right. as of right now, what I did was I just like connected the pipe together, but it's not like attached. It's connected, but not really, you know. And I still don't know how the hell, first of all, somebody put it together so poorly, and then second of all, how it worked free, how there was a separation there. It was remarkable. But that was just part of it. So Pellerito's like, okay. And I go, well, then there's the drywall. I got to hire somebody to do the drywall. And he laughs. He goes, dude, you got a whole crew of people that can do the drywall. And I go, yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll call on you for that because that is so impossible to me. I guess I'll try it, and then I'll ruin it, and then I'll have Mike's son, Sebastian, who's like 17, come over and do it. Sebastian is the one who textured all of this shit in this room. Look at this. I remember being in this room when Sebastian, the kid, did this. I think there's a booger on that wall over there. I think that's from the dog. All right. So that was part of the weekend, part of my shenanigans. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope everybody's got their fingers and toes. This Open is brought to you by Irvine's Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. That's who has my hot rod Honda Civic right now. Thank you to them. 25 years in business. Yep, that's right. They opened their doors in West Michigan when Megan was just 1 year old. They are along 44th Street, just east of 131 in beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. Open 5 days a week. The street that they are on is called Stafford. Their website is irvines.com. I think it's 225 Google reviews now with a 5-star average. Not easy to do. They are pros. They work on domestic, Asian, BMWs, and Minis. March into Irvine, say congrats on 25 years, and thanks for sponsoring the podcast. Before you know it, you'll have a cup of coffee in your hand and probably a freebie to go along with it. You know, the usual trinkets, maybe a T-shirt, can koozie, calendar of technician Bruce in swimwear and evening wear. All right. Thank you to Irvine's. I do want to mention this. Save the date for May 9th. Local organization called A Veteran Helping Veteran is having their Veterans and First Responders Festival at the Hudsonville Fairgrounds. I will be there for it. May 9th is the Fifth Third Riverbank Run. I'm going to run the Riverbank Run, and then I'm going to head over there and say hi to the good folks over there. That is coming up May 9th. Save the date. It is the Veterans and First Responders Festival brought to you by A Veteran Helping Veteran, a nonprofit charitable organization raising money for our vulnerable veterans. Thank you. Stand by. Okay. Oh, I got to show you something. If you're listening to the audio podcast, I'm just going to have to describe it to you. This is what's known as an instant replay. This is where my bread has been buttered for decades. It's an archaic piece of equipment. And all of these buttons here are the hotkeys. This button right here is the find function. This is what makes it so easy. This is an old school. It's just a hard drive for 1,000 drops. Now, if you buy this new, I think you can still buy these brand new. They're like $2,000. It is the standard for quick use drops on a show like mine. iPad doesn't cut it. This is what you need to have. I found this used at a church online, and I bought it. Thanks to you for supporting the show so that I could get it. It was only like $400. Wasn't bad at all. So now the process is loading in drops. Things like this.
Fuck you! I'm trying to help you, motherfucker!
Fuck you! I never
brush my fucking teeth. Don't you fucking know that?
Now, I'm playing that off my iPad, but it's easier to do when you use this machine.
You all better repent! You motherfucking accuser! Accuser of the fucking brethren, you motherfucker!
When Pellerito reached out to me and encouraged me to go work on the ceiling and the leak, I said, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna come and help you. I said, no, don't. And he wrote, he's
Fuck you! I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
Where am I, man? I don't even know what's going on. Oh, my God. I heard from Troy Ginzer at Tag Accounting, and he caught wind from one of you people who was getting their taxes done that I refer to him as the Halfling, and he got a kick out of that, also known as the Tax Hobbit. Troy is, like, shorter than me. But he's... Okay, a little bit of background. I think Troy's probably maybe like 10, 12 years younger than me. But when Troy was in high school, he went to Parma, which is, in the southern portion of Michigan. And he was one of the best basketball players in the state. He was an all-state player when he played, point guard. That little fucker averaged just under 31 points a game in high school. And he was actually a nominee for Mr. Basketball. The Tax Hobbit averaged 31 points per game in high school. The dude, and he can still shoot the shit out of the ball from downtown. Oh, my God. So when you go see the Tax Hobbit, make sure you mention that Zane was talking about his unbelievable ability at basketball. That little shit. He has taken that passion to the world of doing your taxes. 616-301-9516. Go see the Tax Hobbit, Troy Ginzer, today at Tag Accounting, online at tagcpa.net. Please reach out to him. No more procrastinating. Okay, you got to do it. He can get you in there, tagcpa.net, 616-301-9516. Anywhere in the U.S., this is technically a national sponsor because no matter where you are, he can do your taxes for whatever state. All right? Reach out to him. He'll give you all the details. All right. The NBA Basketball All-Star Game, National Basketball Association All-Star Game went down. And this is... normally the place, it seems like, where the National Anthem gets murdered. And that happened again. We need look no further than the 2018 All-Star Game when Fergie sang the anthem. And she did like this weirdo interpretive jazzy style version of the National Anthem, if you recall. I'll play it for you in a second here. And as it dragged on when Fergie did it a few years ago, you see like various, they show the players there as they're looking at the flag, and this goes on and on and on. And Draymond Green, it was a shot of him, and he's got his mouth open. He's like, he can't believe it. And then he starts to laugh. And then Steph Curry starts to laugh. They're all cracking up at how shitty it is. And then they show Jimmy Kimmel, and he's laughing at how bad this is, as Fergie, who does have a decent voice, and by the way, looked spectacular, obliterates the anthem. This is from 2018.
That a flag was still there. Oh, say,
That.
does that star spangled banner yet wave?
It's like she's trying to be sexy or something with the anthem. Let's play some basketball.
Let's play some basketball.
So shitty. You can't bring anybody famous in to do the anthem. Like, you know, at the Daytona 500 last night, or yesterday, by the way, a couple things. I'm going to tangent out here before I go into Chaka Kahn. They had a lady who was a member of the military, and she happens to be able to sing. And so she's in her full military uniform, and she just sings it like it's meant to be sung. And it was spectacular. You had the color guard there, and the NASCAR's got it right most of the time. Of course, this was the same event that they did. They brought in Madison Rising years ago. That shit show. But there was a lot that went right in the start. It was the only thing that went right in the Daytona 500 yesterday because weather ruined the damn thing, which I often wonder. I'm like, Jesus, all of these people, you've got hundreds of thousands of people, and then, you know, they've been getting ready for this race. The weather ruins it. They all have to leave and then come back today. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know. It would be devastating. Oh, terrible. But first of all, Fox's coverage of it, they do a lot of these dumb, stupid skits and stuff like that. That was just the worst. They had some pro wrestler, Sheamus, with Michael Waltrip, and they're interviewing drivers, and the whole thing was stupid. And then Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon are doing some dumb bit on the track, pre-recorded. That was dumb, too. Mike Joy's in a stupid 1970s AMC Gremlin, which actually looked like a pretty cool car. And then Jeff Gordon goes ripping by him in a Camaro. Aha! Stupid. But Trump shows up. And now this guy knows what he's doing. This turned out to be an enormous media and campaign moment. Here he is trying to win the next election to be the president again. Of course he's going to show up at a NASCAR event. Actually, he was the grand marshal for this event. And the dude, I'll give him a lot of points for moving the meter with FaceTime, TV time, and the overall campaignability of this entire venture, because Air Force One is over the track. He's banking over the track. And then they set it down. There's an airstrip right there. They set down this big-ass jet. They have his car there, the Beast. I don't know if it flew in the plane with him. And I didn't know what is composed of the armor of this vehicle. I didn't realize that this car is 22,000 pounds, and it's made with 8-inch steel. It could take a direct hit from a rocket-propelled grenade, no joke. The glass is 5 inches thick. It's completely impervious to small arms fire. And he and the First Lady drive over to the track, and so he does the interview, he does the gentlemen start your engines, and then he does a lap. And this has never happened before. There's only been a handful of presidents that have attended NASCAR events. I think the Bushes, Reagan said, "Gentlemen, start your engines" once, but this has never happened. Trump gets in the limo, and he leads the field. That's never happened before. Now here you have. These are all MAGA hat-wearing people at this thing. So, shit, this is not a bad idea at all. The crowd loved it, so he's catering to his audience there. You gotta give him credit for that. It turned into a spectacle. He stole the event. It was the big deal. Then the fucker gets on the radio. Okay, somebody hands him a radio and says, "Mr. President, would you like to address the drivers?" And he goes, "I thought you'd never ask." "Hey, hello, this is your president. I wish you all safety and God bless you all." You know, He's doing the God bless you thing. And, all the drivers like, holy shit, this is the greatest. And then it goes, they run 20 laps and cancel the damn race. So I played for you Fergie from 2018. Chaka Kahn said, hold my Cosmo. I can do better. She walks out looking like an old beat-up cosplay whore. What she was wearing was remarkable. She looked like an extra from that new Birds of Prey movie. I don't know what it was. It looked to be like kind of like a hybrid NBA cheerleader / Halloween costume thing. And, she shouldn't be wearing anything form-fitting because she's old. But she can still sing. She can still carry a tune. But the voice does not account for her stupid brain, because this idiot gets in front of the world and says, move over, Fergie. I am going to obliterate the anthem worse than you. Check this out.
Here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner is acclaimed singer, songwriter, and 10-time Grammy winner from Chicago, Chaka Kahn.
This was sad.
Chicago! Oh, say, can you see?
Okay, I wanted to stop it before it hit, but as soon as she did the "Can you see," I knew that was the note. When she started out with "Oh, say," that was fine, and then the next sequence is where it gets off the rails.
Oh, say,
That's fine.
can you
That's
see?
not.
The dawn's early light.
If I'm a player, I'm like, all right, she's dragging out every word. This is going to take about 15 minutes. Shit. Thanks a lot.
Was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight wore the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Here it comes.
And the rockets ran glad.
Oh, no!
The bombs bursting in air.
What are you doing, you asshole?
Gave proof.
What a jerk.
Through the night that our flag was still there.
I'll make up for it now.
Oh, say does that star-spangled
Man,
banner.
if the tax hobbit continued to play and he wound up at the NBA All-Star game, I know he'd be making this face looking like he just smelled shit. Jesus. Ugh. Ah, come on. Oh, no. I hate her. I hate her. I wish she was a friend of Kobe Bryant and was on that chopper. Nah, that was probably too much. Oh, shut up, you stupid fucker. Oh, God. Ah, so bad. Yeah.
One more round of applause for Tennille Arts and Chaka Kahn.
I would have booed. You're terrible. You asshole. What the hell is wrong with you? How can you possibly think that
Fuck you! I'm trying to help you, motherfucker! Shut the fuck up, bitch!
Oh, the anthem murdered. That one has skyrocketed to the top. And, a lot of people always throw Roseanne in there. You got to understand. She intentionally was sounding like shit. She was trying to be disrespectful. This woman actually, Chaka Kahn, Fergie, they actually think it sounds good. Roseanne knew it didn't sound good. She was doing that to be an asshole. She actually said, I'm going to be an idiot. Chaka Kahn doesn't know that. She thinks that sounds excellent. Ugh. So bad. So bad. All right. Andrea says, this is horrible. Mike says they were applauding because she stopped. It's remarkable that they, and Jason talks about the sound check. Why can't someone have the nerve to say, yeah, you can't sing it like that? She's going to be like, what? Well, then I'm not singing it. Well, then too bad. We'll get someone else. We'll go to the local high school. We'll have a kid do it. You cannot amp up the anthem like that. You can't do all those runs and show how you can hit all those notes and move all the way up and down the scale for every single word of the anthem. Okay? Everybody hates it. That is more disrespectful than Colin Kaepernick. I would rather have Colin Kaepernick just kneel there, hold the microphone to his ass, and fart for the anthem than to hear that shit. My God, was that horrible. Chaka Kahn. What an asshole. Her and Fergie both. And she looked terrible, by the way. Nothing worse than a 70-some-year-old lady trying to look like she's 30. Embarrassing. What is wrong with you? All right. Coming up next, and the next thing I want to talk to you about, it was quite an event at the Griffins game. They won over the weekend against Cleveland, but there was some things that happened that I need to tell you about off of the ice that you probably wouldn't have seen or heard about, and only I would have known about. That comes up next. Comedian Ryan Hamilton is coming to the Emerald Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan on March 28th. He is funny. He's a Laugh Fest veteran. You can get tickets by going to ericzaneshow.com on the lower sponsor scroll. Click there, and you can get tickets for Ryan Hamilton. Okay? I'm also posting about that on Twitter and Facebook. You'll see posts periodically. Horizon Hydroponics is one of my latest sponsors. Their website is horizonhydroponics.com. Now, make sure you spell Horizon right. It's Horizen. Horizonhydroponics.com. They'd like you to go check out their website. It is very well done. And if you are growing things indoors, and it could be anything, it could be cannabis in the great state of Michigan. It could be whatever you want to grow. Everything you need to grow indoors, hydroponics style, is for you at Horizon Hydroponics. HorizonHydroponics.com, Horizen. If you go to their website, you can buy online and have it sent right to your home. You can shop online and pick up at the store if you want. And just go to the store. When you go to the store, you get you get the expert advice of more than 30 people that work at any of the 4 locations in Michigan to pick their brain about whatever it is you would like to grow. Okay, they are the best at it. In business for more than 20 years, serving growers of all things at Horizon Hydroponics. HorizonHydroponics.com. Again, it's Horizen Hydroponics.com. They got a store in Lansing. They got a store in Kalamazoo, on Alpine in Grand Rapids, and the Growers Outlet in Byron Center. Thank you, Horizon Hydroponics. There's their sign for sponsoring the Eric Zane Show podcast. As well, Terrytown RV is on Division between 68th and 76th Street. So much inventory for you to check out, and I know it's cold. That's why they have the indoor showroom. More than 200 units are available for you to look at. Teeny tiny small travel trailers that you can get in for less than $200 a month. Maybe a pop-up if you're a new young family, just want to get out. Dirt cheap, okay? And it's new. Nobody's been in it. No one's smeg is on the mattresses. Get over to Terrytown RV and check out the inventory. You can also get larger travel trailers there, fifth wheels, motorhomes. They have everything you need at Terrytown RV. You don't want to go? Shop online, terrytownrv.com. And you pick out one you like. They'll reach out to you as soon as you say, call me. I've got a staff of people that are waiting for the online shopper. That could be you. Just go there and check out the website, terrytownrv.com. You'd be surprised at how little it costs to get you in a travel trailer, fifth wheel, motorhome, whatever it may be. And it can get you out on the road. As the weather warms up, I cannot wait. I've got cabin fever. I need to get camping. Here we are, February. I need at least another. I saw somebody traveling around just the other day, and I don't know how the hell they're doing that. But I want to get out, man. Dying to get out. Cannot wait. Thank you, Terrytown RV. Okay. So, working hockey on Friday. Griffs get a win, and that was good. They're climbing the standings. They're now alone in third place. So looking like playoffs might be a possibility. That is a good thing. They're playing very, very well these days. So during the game, this dude for Cleveland he got called for something. It doesn't matter what. He's heading over to the box. And I noticed he's dropping every F-bomb in the book as he's skating over to the sin bin, which, as you know, is right next to me. The guy is then within arm's length away. There is an open door. Whatever he says, I can hear it. That was the impetus for Awkward Hockey Talk, the bit that I did. I still do it. I have so much footage that needs to be edited. And I'm not even going to tell you that I'm going to do it because you probably get sick and tired of me saying, I'm going to edit that up and post it, because then I never do because I suck. But anyway, a dude sits down. His name is Adam Clendenning with a C. Not Glendenning with a G, not to be confused with Luke Glendenning from East Grand Rapids. He plays for the Red Wings. In fact, there have been times when Luke Glendenning and Adam Clendenning got into a fight. Think of that, just coincidence. So Clendenning is next to me in the booth, and he's pissed off because he got called for a slash. So he's pissed at the ref, and he's saying every word in the book. And he's swearing and screaming and yelling and he's very animated. Now, of course, we have cameras inside of the penalty box. And on the board, his picture comes on the video board. You see him there. And he doesn't like that. And then he takes a stick, and he takes a butt end of the stick, and whammo, he hits the camera. And he's not happy with the camera, and it doesn't move it enough. So he takes the stick again, and he bashes it again, all right? So now the camera is either broken or it's not aimed at him. And that all is on the Jumbotron, the big board. Everybody sees that happen. Now, the guy who's controlling the camera is a dude named Eric Naki. Naki, I can hear him in my ears, and he's contracted by the rink. Everything you see video-wise, with the exception of that big giant board, is Eric's. He owns the cameras. He owns everything. He pays the employees that run the camera, and he's turnkey. He's contracted by the rink. So that's his camera. It's probably busted now. So he didn't care, though, because there's another camera that's on the bottom of the center ice scoreboard, which is way up high. And he then aims that remotely at the guy and puts him back on the video board. Clendenning sees that, but he thinks that it's that camera again that he just hit with his stick. He might be a little thick. He doesn't realize that it's an aerial shot aiming down at him, so he might be a dumbass. He thinks it's the camera that he hit with the stick. So he then takes the stick and he goes, motherfucker! And he starts bashing the shit out of it like Game of Thrones style on this camera that's not even, and then he doesn't, while he's doing that, he's looking at the video board and notices that he's still on camera and he can't quite piece together, do the math that it's another camera. But he's furious now. It doesn't matter. The wires have crossed. He's pissed. And so Eric Nocky says he goes, tell him we're going to do this all game. And I said, Eric, I'm not saying shit to this guy. He's furious. So the period ends. He goes to the locker room. We try to fix the camera. We get it fixed. Doesn't matter. He comes back after the period and sits down again. And now he finishes his time. He goes back out onto the ice. There is a goal scored by Cleveland. And then he gets called for another penalty, this guy. He comes back into the booth, into the penalty box, and he says, son of a bitch, I hate this place. I hate everything about it. And he's like blaming us that he got a penalty, okay? And he's saying every bad word in the book. And he's like directing it towards all of us. We're just the off-ice officials. I'm the PA guy, and we're just being quiet. We don't want to say a word. This guy's crazy. So he's flipping out, and he's, motherfucker, I hate this place. I hate that ref. Fuck you. He's banging his stick on the glass. The fans are, like, mocking him, and he's banging his stick at the fans. He's going crazy. Then he pauses. He takes a breath. He goes, hey, I think I got an assist on that last goal. Can you check for me? And there was an open spot. He could have gotten the second assist. So we go, all right, yeah, we'll check. So then scorekeeper calls up to the dudes upstairs who have the instant replay to see if he gets a point. He goes, yeah, I got 3 points, and I'm on a point streak for like the last 6 games. I need a point. And we're like, holy shit, dude, you were just having a temper tantrum, and now all you're worried about is this point. Sure enough, he got the point. So we changed it on the score sheet, and the dude ended up, then he goes out onto the ice and gets hurt. And he has to leave the game, doesn't play anymore. Unbelievable. Stupid moron. One of the dumbest guys I've ever seen in hockey. Could not believe it. Did not actually break the camera, though. Then there was another story. Some guy, I don't know who it was, for Cleveland. I've seen this before. They get hit in the mouth, and then they're laying there, and then the trainer will come out with a towel and put it over their face and then take them off of the ice. That usually means someone's teeth were knocked out. And the king, the teeth knocker-outer, guy who's got the most teeth knocked out was Mitch Callahan of the Griffins. He took a puck in the face, and it destroyed, I think, 10 or 12 of his teeth. Gone. And it did it busted them all out. And Brian Lashoff had to pick up the teeth, and it was horrible. And then Callahan took a selfie of it, and the league got pissed because it was so gruesome. It was the tooth selfie seen round the world. Historic. Well, it happened in the same game, but it wasn't nearly as bad. Guy skates off from Cleveland with a towel over his face. And sure enough, I see dude on his hands and knees, another player picking teeth up off the ice. Then I realize I know the team dentist. His name's Dr. Lee. And I look where his seats are, and I see him get up. Actually, he looked at his phone. He gets up. He's got to go and do some work. What's happened is the guy's teeth have been knocked out, but the teeth are not busted. So the teeth are intact, the entire tooth, front teeth. And now the dentist, Dr. Lee, has the teeth in his hand, and he goes, all right, we're going to put him back in. And I didn't know that it was this simple. You take the teeth and you just jam them up there, and he moves them to where they're straight. So if he had crooked teeth, they're going to be straight now if they grow in right, and that's it. So after the game, I go, so what happens? He goes, well, they're loose, so he has to get it taken care of. They need to be artificially cemented in there so that the bone will then grow around it, and you can save the teeth. Once they're in, it's like when you get your arm cut off and they can put it back on. The same thing with the tooth. So he jams the teeth back up there in the guy's in each tooth socket. And this, hockey players are crazy. And then the dude goes, can you numb it up? I want to make it so I don't even miss a shift. I got to get back out there. And he of course has his little tennis bag. He whips up a batch of Novocaine, numbs it up. Guy doesn't even miss a shift. Numbs up his face. Holy cow. And I was talking with one of the security guards. We don't understand. I mean, granted, they don't want to play with a bubble on. But they already have a visor on now. That is mandatory in the league, both leagues. In fact, hang on. Excuse me. And but why don't you just, even if it's just a face guard, to cover the puck from striking your? I will never ever be able to put to understand why they do what they do at great risk. I mean, hell. Football players, they have a face guard, and it's not like they're called weak or anything like that. The hockey players, I don't know why they don't protect their faces. It really is shocking to me. I've never understood it. You see players, you see skate blades hitting people in the face, and then they get a huge gash. I think they like it. I think they're just different people. And then the occasionally you'll see somebody get their jugular cut. I know a guy named Ben Street used to be on the Griffins who had that happen to him. He almost died. You see a big gash on their neck. It happened to a goalie, Clint Malarchuk, back in the day for the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, it was like it cut his carotid artery, and the blood was shooting out every time his heart would beat. I just don't understand what the hell is wrong with these people. That all happened in one game. We've got a lot more podcasting to do. I want to tell you about this young pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Boy, pitchers and catchers report. This pitcher will be there after he's done masturbating. What? That story comes up in just a second. As you know, I'm on Patreon. That's where I do more podcasting each and every day of the week. This one gets done. I do another podcast on Patreon. We're going to talk about a crazy lady and her daughter trying to abduct babies. Holy shit. Flat out crazy. And the lady is a former mayoral candidate for Colorado Springs, Colorado. That on the Patreon. To sign up, go to ericzaneshow.com, click on Patreon. It's all there. It's simple. Or go to patreon.com/ericzane. Season ticket holder of the Griffins is Joe Martinez. Saw him over the weekend. He's awesome. Saw his lovely granddaughter. She's such a doll. So cute. She blew me kisses. She's like 1 year old. Blew me kisses. A&E Heating and Cooling online at aeheatingcooling.net. 616-516-8579. Get a humidifier installed in your home for just $515. Non-Zane Show listeners got to pay $615. Make sure you mention the show, though. If you get a whole furnace install, the humidifier is free. If you are a active or retired military member, or maybe just like on leave, whatever. If you're in the military or were in the military, you get 15% off everything. Trouble call, service call, install, 15% off. Senior citizens, same thing. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling. The managed IT service provider, Blue Frost IT, online at bluefrostit.com. 616-200-8550. Key sponsor of the show. Managed IT service provider for small and medium-sized businesses. If you have a business, reach out to them. Don't be rolling the dice on your IT. You got to have that crew ready to go. You can avoid phishing scams, network breakdowns, whatever it may be, software upgrades. You need to have your IT department ready to go. But you don't need to spend a lot of money on your IT department. 616-516-8550 for Blue Frost IT. Okay. So if you're a member of the Toronto Blue Jays, I imagine you're looking forward to the spring training appearance by Blue Jays pitcher Reese McGuire. He's a younger player. I don't think he's a rookie. But this dumbass is going to be made fun of viciously at spring training because, he was caught with his actual sweatpants down and his crank out with him feverishly heating up the German war helmet in the parking lot of a dollar store while watching porno. What? How? How can you, the police report from TMZ. A witness saw the guy in his car flogging the Dolphin. He's the catcher for the Blue Jays. Cops show up on the scene. So eyewitness sees guy pinching the Bishop and calls the cops. He doesn't even know the cops are on the way. The cops actually caught him while he was feverishly pumping up his crank. According to the report, cops say they rolled up to the parking lot. They saw McGuire with his shirt barely covering his genitals and his sweatpants around his ankles. If you're this guy, you have to retire from baseball. You have to move to Alaska like Jesse Pinkman. Get a bug-out bag, leave. Don't ever come back. They say in the report when they got Reese McGuire out of his car, he still had an erection. Sometimes it takes a little time for that critter to calm down. Boy, what a case of blue balls, though. How about that, huh? Cops say McGuire apologized to them profusely for the incident, saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is really embarrassing." Cops say McGuire added, "I really shouldn't have been doing that." In the report, cops claimed they got McGuire's phone to try to find his current address. They noticed an extremely pornographic video playing on the screen. So, seriously. He's still got a rod. The video's still playing. His pants are around his ankles. Oh, my God. And all these details are out there. The rest of the team is going to give him so much shit. Officers asked Reese why he went to the parking lot instead of just going home. McGuire said, "Well, I don't know. It just seemed like a good place," he says. My God. Deputies were called to the parking lot in Dundee, Florida on Friday after he was seen in the SUV exposing himself. They said he was cooperative and did not deny the allegations. He was arrested. He's only 24, arrested and booked for misdemeanor exposure of sexual organs. He's due in court in mid-March, which actually works out to be a spring training off day for the Blue Jays to face charges. This article says that for their part, Toronto says it's aware of the allegations against its catcher, writing in a statement, "McGuire's been in communication with the club. We are working to gather more information. Out of respect for the legal process, neither he nor the club will comment any further at this time." Oh, my God. He played 44 games for the Blue Jays since 2018, batting .297 with 7 home runs. Boy. Terribly embarrassing. Terribly embarrassing. Getting busted. Some people have had to live through that. Raise your hand if that's you. I don't want to go further into this because I don't want it. I keep hearing from people that interact with family members, and that makes me a little bit more sheepish. A sheepish Eric Zane is not a good thing, but I don't like knowing that. All right. So that dumpster fire of a league, the XFL. I wonder what the ratings were for the XFL. Did they tank? XFL ratings. That's the new football league. The first week it was all right. Let's see. Week 2 ratings will matter much more than an impressive week 1. And I guess it doesn't say whether or not they had decent enough ratings. I would guess not. Seriously, who's really interested in this? I know I'm not. And, I'm interested in the NFL for the most part, but not in the XFL. I'm not interested in players who are not good enough to make the NFL practice squad. You have a bunch of who's who of who cares in the XFL. The only league that ever mattered that was a backup league or another league was the USFL, because they had so much money that they drafted the best college football players, and they freaking drafted Herschel Walker and Anthony Carter, and they got big money. They had real dollars behind it. Ended up tanking, but still, that's the only time I've been interested in any other league. So the gimmick around the XFL this time around is a lot of interactive interviews and things like that. So, like, during the game, they'll go and interview players and coaches. And the takeaway in this one is a guy I think they're known as the New York Defenders. They got some nobody named Matt McGloin as the quarterback. That's right. His name is Matt McGloin. Did he play for Penn State? Let me see. I thought he did. If that's the case, that's weird. Yeah, he did play for Penn State. So, surrounding the Sandusky thing, you've got quarterbacks named Matt McGloin, which is dangerously close to Matt McGroin, which is what was the undoing of Jerry Sandusky, and the coach, Mike McQueary. So somehow McQueary and McGloin are involved in that horrible moment in Penn State sports. McGloin is playing on this shit show team, the New York Defenders. They suck in the first half of the game the other day. The sideline reporter goes up to him and says, "What's going on?" And he says, "This is embarrassing. We have to redo everything. We suck." Listen to this.
This team needs to do on offense to get something going here?
We need to change the whole entire game plan at halftime.
What do you need to change about the game plan? What are you frustrated about?
There's just a lot going on.
I like how everybody's booing this guy in the background. "Boo, you suck. We wasted our money. This sucks. You suck." And he says we have to change our whole entire game plan. That apparently is a big no-no to say, from what I'm understanding.
This team needs to do on offense to get something going here?
We need to change the whole entire game plan at halftime.
What do you need to change about the game plan? What are you frustrated about?
There's just a lot going on right out now. It's embarrassing for us here as an offense, so a lot of things we want to fix and correct.
Thanks.
Wow. Change the entire offensive game plan. And these are short half times.
McGloin needed to be more honest. I mean, he was honest in saying we need to change the whole game plan, which came back to bite him in the ass. He should have said, I'm embarrassed that I have to do this. I'm not, okay, truth be told, I'm not good enough to be on an NFL practice squad. I suck shit. I can't throw. I can't read. I'm dumb, and that's why I'm here. This league sucks. See you later. That would have been just as acceptable as what he said there. So this sideline reporter, she goes up to the coach, who's another washed-up idiot named Kevin Gilbride, most known for when Buddy Ryan punched him in the face on the sidelines back in the day. And this reporter goes up and she says, "Yeah, guess what McGloin said? He said that we got to change the whole game plan, or you got to change the whole game plan, and you suck." And he goes, "I didn't know he said that. That's terrible. I'm going to go have a talk with him." Well, then he benched him.
Guys, I talked to head coach Kevin Gilbride about Matt McGloin's comments saying that the play calling is an issue. And I said, "Coach, in all my years of covering football, I've never heard a quarterback say that." And he says, "Well, that makes two of us. I need to go talk to him and figure out what the problem is, because he needs to play better."
The problem is it's the XFL. That's the problem. There's 80 people there at this stupid stadium to watch his dumb game. No one cares. It'll be dead. It won't make it through the year. It'll be a miracle if it makes it through the year. Just my 2 cents. Not that I care. All right. I need to tell you about the world famous snake orgy. God, this sounds terrible. Not looking for. I seriously, if I was walking through a park and I see a snake orgy going on, I'm going to tell you about that in just a little bit. But this show, of course, is brought to you also by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. If you're going to get a mortgage, and you should do that before you start looking for a home, I want you to do it with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. All right? Their number is 213-332-6505. 213-332-6505. Now, whether your credit is impeccable, which will make this a quick, speedy process, or if it requires a little bit more navigating because you're new to the credit world, or maybe you were involved in a divorce or a bankruptcy, Mario has been through it all, and he can help you get in a perfect loan that will make it so that you can get a home and stop having to pay some slumlord who's giving you not what you want. Hey, the garage door opener is busted. Yeah, I'll be there in 3 months to fix it. No. Put the money into your own home. 213-332-6505. You can get to their website by clicking on the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage logo at ericzaneshow.com. All right, TC Paintball looking like an early April spring break edition for Paintball War 8. Details coming soon. It's going to be great, though. Paintball War 8. Cannot wait till we get the outdoor setup ready to go. And if you want to book an event at TC Paintball, hosted by Rick himself, reach out to TC Paintball. You can get to their website by going to ericzaneshow.com, click on the TC Paintball logo, or on that logo, there's a number you can call them right up. They open up at 11 o'clock. Unbelievably massive pro shop. You walk in to see this wall of paintball guns. I'm telling you, once your kid goes there, maybe checks out the Little League on Thursdays at 5 o'clock, they're going to want to get involved in paintball. So if your kid maybe doesn't do sports, but you want them to move around a little bit, paintball's where it's at, man. There's nothing like running around scared S-less that you're going to get shot. That gets the blood pumping. It's a hell of a lot more fun than sitting around, and better for you than sitting around playing video games. Thank you to TC Paintball, online at tcpaintball.com. I want to see what the temptress is up to this morning. She's in here right now, in the house. Hi, honey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Up and around?
Yeah.
No one can see you. They can just hear your voice. So I know you're oftentimes like, hey, I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
Is that Daisy snoring again?
Yeah, she's sitting right next to me.
Okay, did everybody go outside okay? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good.
The people want to see the dogs.
What's it? Well, they're sleeping. Lucy's asleep on my lap.
All right. Okay, well, people are. I think that the last time we did a video, last Facebook, the dogs weren't on here, and it was remarkably lower. And I think it's because the dogs were in here.
Really?
Yeah. So you're back to work tomorrow, right?
Back to work tomorrow.
Okay, back to the grind?
Yeah.
Do you do YMCA work today?
No.
All right. Very good. Well, you're a
Oh.
saint. You're a saint. And
I think you told me you were going to take me out for sushi or something.
today? Yeah, I
You told
did.
me.
I did do that. What did you think of your Valentine's gift?
I didn't get one.
So you told me not to get you one.
Right.
Is that a mistake on my part?
No. It's okay.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Valentine's Day is dumb.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can go get sushi. Yeah, why not? I've saved up my pennies.
So what time?
I don't know, whatever. I got a meeting with a client, prospective client, in the afternoon, but I didn't make that time.
All right.
All right.
You just let me know when, and I'll get ready.
Hey, anything burning on your brain? Anything at all? Because people love to hear from you.
Can't think of anything right now.
All right. I'm not leading you into anything. I didn't know if you had anything in your mind. Okay, I love you.
Okay, love you too. See ya.
Okay, bye. I thought you could bring the dogs up. You're like, why the hell did you do that, Zane? Lakeland, Florida. The scene of the snake orgy. I am so glad I live in a part of the world like Florida, you know. The fact that you can be minding your own business and a giant gator can come flying out of the water and drag you into the water and you're never seen again. You remember that thing that happened at Disney World? Just, I think it was like last year, the year before. Some little kid is standing there on property at one of the hotels, and a damn gator comes out. Kid's gone, never to be seen or heard. They never recovered him. He's gone. I don't want to live in a world where that could possibly happen. This is further proof that where we live here in Michigan is the greatest place to live in the entire United States. The Midwest is where it's at, folks. If you live in places where there's drought and wildfires and tornado alley, what? That in the middle of the night, some tornado can come ripping through and level an entire town? That doesn't happen here. It's a little cold for part of the year. No big deal. We don't have earthquakes. None of that shit. No hurricanes. No snake orgies. No alligators climbing out of the water. You can swim in any body of water in this state, and it's not salty, and there's no sharks that'll rip your face off and eat you whole. I mean, come on. This is where it's at. Jobs are plentiful. We got a batshit crazy governor, but she's going to get fired in the next election anyway. So it's all good. Economy is booming. Don't drink the water. It's loaded with lead and PFAS, but you can always buy bottled water, right? You know? Snake orgy. Officials in the city of Lakeland taped off an area of this park after residents noticed piles and piles of snakes having sex. Quote, regarding snakes spotted on Lake Hollingsworth near the roundabout, began the Facebook post. It appears they have congregated for mating. They are non-venomous and generally not aggressive as long as people do not disturb them. No problem. Once the mating is over, they should go their separate ways. Yeah, well, they're still around. No one wants snakes around. There's a listener, one of the Zaniacs, Mitch, a guy I'm doing his wedding, him and his lovely better half. He's a tarantula farmer. Now, these are not normal people who like snakes and tarantulas. He sent me a picture the other day of one of his tarantulas' eye clusters. And I'm like, what? Eye cluster? Actually, I started out by saying, question one, tarantula farmer, do tarantulas have faces? And he said, no. But here's their eye cluster. They've got 8 eyes, and they're all like weird in different directions. Oh, my God. And then he sent me a video of one of his tarantulas murdering a cockroach. Horrible. You don't want to be around a guy who loves snakes or tarantulas. Ugh. By the way, if you want a tarantula, he'll sell you a tarantula. He's becoming a tarantula farmer businessman so that he's the go-to guy in the state of Michigan for tarantulas. So for the 4 or 5 people in Michigan who love tarantulas, you're going to get them from this idiot. The snakes appear to be native water snakes. However, some residents have pointed out that a water moccasin nest was also spotted in the same area. While we cannot rule out the presence of other species being in that location or other locations around the lake, we believe the water snakes have congregated in that area as they seem to be doing yearly. This is a perfect opportunity to just throw a hand grenade in the pile. Why wouldn't you? There's snakes. Who cares? Just pull the pin, drop it, look out, walk away, or maybe some tannerite, blow up the snakes. Who cares, right? I'm probably going to hear from PETA over that one. I'm not serious. Besides, they're snakes. Does PETA really care about snakes? Is that thing? Do they draw the line at like cows? Is Joaquin Phoenix speaking on behalf of the snakes? Oh my God. I will admit, if someone does have a snake on them, I will walk up to it and engage it and touch it even. I just don't want them around me in the wild, okay? Like we had a snake wandering through the yard recently, and my hillbilly wife wanted to pick it up. I'm like, what are you doing? My God. All right, you can get T-shirts, EricZaneShow.com. I would love you to get a new T-shirt, all right? EricZaneShow.com, all the different sizes, colors available. I'm thinking about doing one with just the one-eyed pets. I got to get with Jericho on that. Some of the comments. Nicholas says, Eric goes from talking gashes to Joe Martinez. Someone's got tacos on the brain. I don't remember doing that. Did I do that? All right. Bunch of comments. Thank you to all of you on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for enjoying the podcast as we do it live. We'll do it live. And for those of you who download the audio as well, my gosh, thank you so much. That's going to do it. Patreon is next. We'll have the dogs in for that one, too. Talk to you then. Sign up at patreon.com/Eric Zane or more info at EricZaneShow.com. That's it. We're done. It's a normal work week. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.